Tanjirou Kamado bids farewell to his family as they see him off, carrying a basket of charcoal on his back. He heads towards the village at the mountain's base. Upon arrival, the villagers warmly greet him, thanking him for his assistance while he sells them charcoal. With his basket now empty and nightfall approaching rapidly, he must make the arduous journey through the snowy mountains. At the foot of the mountain, an elderly man stops him, offering shelter for the night. The man warns Tanjiro of the dangers. His demons are known to hunt during the night. Though Tanjiro's grandmother had spoken of demons, he assures the man that his keen sense of smell will keep him safe in the snowstorm. However, the man insists, and Tanjiro reluctantly accepts his offer. The next morning, he resumes his journey up the mountain. As he nears his family's home, Tanjiro detects the scent of blood. In a state of panic, he rushes back to find his worst fears realized. His family has been brutally slaughtered, the door left ajar, and the snow stained with blood. Only his sister, Nezuko, remains warm, and he decides to find a doctor for her. But then, Nezuko suddenly transforms into a strange and animalistic state, no longer human. They struggle, and in the chaos, they tumble off a cliff into the snow below. When Tanjiro regains consciousness, he finds Nezuko attacking him. He desperately tries to reach out to his sister, but the moment of malice in her eyes gives way to tears. Just then, a young swordsman arrives and charges towards them. Tanjiro pushes Nezuko out of harm's way, and the swordsman is furious, demanding to know why he's protecting a demon. Tanjiro explains that it's his younger sister, but the swordsman remains unconvinced. Desperate to save Nezuko, Tanjiro tries to persuade the swordsman that there was another scent at the scene and that his sister doesn't consume humans. He promises to find a way to change her back, but the swordsman insists it's impossible. Facing an agonizing decision, Tanjiro pleads for his sister's life and offers to do anything. The swordsman admonishes Tanjiro for his weakness, warning that it will only lead to his downfall and his sister's capture. Filled with rage and determination, Tanjiro launches a frontal attack, but the swordsman knocks him unconscious before he can land a hit. Nezuko breaks free and moves towards her unconscious brother, but instead of harming him, she shields him from the swordsman. Impressed, the swordsman sheathes his sword and knocks Nezuko unconscious, deciding to spare them both. Upon waking, Tanjiro finds his sister beside him with a bamboo muzzle. The swordsman advises him to seek an old man living at the foot of Mount Sajiri and mentions his name. He also warns Tanjiro against exposing Nezuko to sunlight. After the swordsman vanishes, Tanjiro and Nezuko set off on their journey. Along the way, Tanjiro obtains materials from a farmer and crafts a backpack for Nezuko to protect her from the sun during the day. As night approaches, they make a stop at a temple. As they ascend the stairs, Tanjiro's senses lead him to the smell of blood, and he discovers a demon feasting on a corpse. The demon immediately attacks, defending its territory. Tanjiro narrowly avoids the assault and manages to slash the demon's throat with his hatchet. Nezuko rushes to her brother's aid, overcoming her instincts to devour, and decisively kicks the demon's head off. However, to their surprise, the demon's body starts to heal, and its severed head continues to speak and grow legs. Tanjiro uses his hatchet to pin the demon's head to a tree while he tries to deal with the body. In the struggle, the demon's body tackles him towards a cliff's edge, but Nezuko saves him from falling over. Uncertain of how to kill the persistent demon, Tanjiro stands his ground when a masked man suddenly appears behind him. The man informs Tanjiro that he can't kill the demon with just a knife. As the sun rises, the demon is ultimately destroyed by the sunlight, and the masked man senses that Tanjiro might be too compassionate to kill even demons. He introduces himself as the person Tanjiro was seeking, and though he doubts Tanjiro's potential as a demon slayer, he decides to test him. After returning to the man's home at the mountain's base, known as Urakodaki, the real test begins. Tanjiro follows the masked man up the mountain until he's suddenly given a challenge. If he can make it back down before sunrise, Urakodaki will agree to train him. The descent proves to be challenging as the entire mountain is booby-trapped, making it much harder than Tanjiro anticipated. Nevertheless, he manages to reach the bottom just in time for sunrise. In keeping with the promise made in Jiyu's letter, Urakodaki agrees to train Tanjiro and care for his demon sister, Nezuko. The training starts with Tanjiro learning how to descend the mountain more efficiently. As he progresses, the traps become more dangerous. Eventually, he is permitted to wield a sword, which brings its challenges due to the added weight. Urakodaki then instructs him in the art of swordsmanship and a special breathing technique called total concentration breathing. He promises to teach Tanjiro all 10 forms of water breathing, his own specialty. However, even after 6 months of practice, Tanjiro only scratches the surface of mastering these techniques, leaving him frustrated. During his training, Tanjiro encounters a mysterious boy with a fox mask named Sabito and a girl named Makomo. They push Tanjiro to embrace total concentration breathing and to internalize the lessons in his body until they become second nature. After a fierce struggle with Sabito, Tanjiro manages to cut through a boulder, signifying his readiness to become a true demon slayer. Urakodaki admits that he initially doubted Tanjiro's abilities, not wanting to send another student to their death in the final selection. He tells Tanjiro that his hardships have only just begun, as demons grow stronger with each person they consume, some even gaining the ability to use blood demon arts. As Tanjiro arrives at final selection, he shocks Urokodaki by mentioning the names of the 2 deceased children he met during his training. The place is surrounded by out-of-season wisteria, which the twin girls explain is a means to trap demons on the mountain, as demons despise the flower. The applicants have to survive for 7 days to pass the final selection. On the first day, Tanjiro faces 2 demons attacking from above, and he manages to kill them simultaneously with his Nichiren sword, just as Urokodaki had taught him. The sword proves to be the only weapon, besides sunlight, capable of killing demons effectively. During the selection, Tanjiro encounters a giant demon with numerous arms chasing other applicants. He witnesses the demon devouring one of them and intervenes to save another. The demon reveals its hatred for Urokodaki, as the former imprisoned it on the mountain 47 years ago. The demon brags about consuming at least 50 potential demon slayers, including Momoko and Sabito, who were Urokodaki's students. Learning that Momoko and Sabito are dead and that the demon is the cause of their demise, Tanjiro loses control and attacks the demon with rage. Nakomo expresses concern about his chances of winning, while Sabito acknowledges Tanjiro's remarkable achievement of cutting through the largest boulder. Tanjiro utilizes water-breathing techniques, and with first form, water surface slash, he severs the demon's head. As the demon's form begins to dissipate, Tanjiro detects a scent of sadness and extends his hand in a prayer, hoping the demon doesn't become one in its next life. In the fog, he sees the souls of all the unfortunate students who didn't survive, now finding peace. Over the following days, Tanjiro desperately seeks a way to revert his sister back to human form, but all the demons he questions refuse to answer or are unwilling to help. After 7 days, he returns to the shrine where the final selection began and is surprised to find that only 4 candidates survived the grueling test. The twins explain the 10 ranks within the Demon Slayer Corps, starting with the lowest, Mizunoto. They are given crows for communication, except for one boy who receives a sparrow for some reason. Another candidate becomes impatient while waiting 15 days for his Nichiren katana to be forged from the selected ore. Meanwhile, a man receives news from a Kasugai crow that there are 5 survivors in total. Exhausted, Tanjiro returns to Urokodaki's place, finding Nezuko awake for the first time since their arrival. Urokodaki speculates that instead of consuming humans, Nezuko's strength is regained through sleep. After the wait, Tanjiro's katana is finally ready, but it surprises the swordsmith when the blade turns black instead of the expected bright red. Black blades are not well understood and are considered a bad omen, as their users tend not to live long. With his first mission assigned, Tanjiro dons his Demon Slayer Corps uniform, made from lightweight, strong fibers resistant to lesser demon fangs. Before they set out, Urokodaki provides Tanjiro with a box to carry Nezuko. Upon arriving at the town of his first mission, Tanjiro meets Kazumi, the last person to see the latest victim alive. He takes Tanjiro to the location where his significant other disappeared. Meanwhile, a girl heads to bed in another part of town, but a dark, Inkai spot follows her on the floor. Suddenly, 2 arms sprout from the spot and grab her. Tanjiro picks up the scent of the demon and rushes to find the girl. He stabs the ground where the scent is strongest, revealing the demon and the girl lurking below the surface. The demon remains silent when asked about the whereabouts of other missing girls. Tanjiro tries to hit the demon, but it splits into 3, making it harder to pinpoint its weak spots. All 3 demons emit the same scent, indicating that they originated from a single demon. After missing again, the demon tries to grab Tanjiro, but just before it reaches him, Nezuko breaks free from her box and protects her brother. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more anime videos.